Want to level up your leadership? Welcome to The Boss Coach.
Step right up, let me tell you, friend, where wisdom meets the latest trend. A dash of cool, a splash of class. The Boss Coach leads, no time to pass. Oh, the Boss Coach, the leader's guide.
Yeah, I know it's a cheesy theme song, but you know, it's kind of grown on me. So, hey boss, how's business? Thanks for clicking and listening. My name is Patrick McGranahan, and I am your Boss Coach. A little about me. I've been in leadership for 35 years, everything from coffee to food to financial services. I think my first leader gig was when I was, 21 years old. So it's been a minute. Personally, I have a big family. I'm an author, ordained minister. And you know what? You'll learn more about me as we go. So let's not dump it all right now. I'm also not new to the podcast game. I've served as producer, writer, voice actor, and other various duties for a fiction and entertainment show. That was a lot of fun. Why this new podcast then? Well, it's partially for my own professional development, right? I want to learn about leadership and also share my insights on leadership so we can sort of help each other. I'm currently in leadership at a large corporation. I've been there almost 20 years. So I'm really fascinated by leaders and the concept of leadership. You know, it's the people who take charge, who take responsibility, to do things nobody else will, kind of like your first responders, except at a more civilian level. If you have the ability to lead, I think you should also have an obligation to do so, right? To not stay on the sidelines, to take charge because you have that ability where many don't. See, I had this theory about society. I came up with it based on my interpretation of some parables and also Pulp Fiction, but stay with me here. So I think everybody is either a sheep, a shepherd, or a wolf. Now, if this sounds familiar, there's a similar theory in the book American Sniper. It was also a good movie starring Bradley Cooper. Anyway, the majority of people are sheep, and that's not in a derogatory way like people use in politics to call people sheep because they're just following or whatever, It's just a general term about the majority of people don't really concern themselves much with what's going on around them, right? They're concerned with their family. They focus on themselves, their own needs, and they sort of need a fence to keep everybody in. They're not really interested in anything outside of it, and that's fine. That's just the majority of people and what their psyche is like. But then there are some people who are wolves. They see that the sheep are somewhat vulnerable because their awareness is limited, right? They look for direction from others, and anyone who takes that charge usually can guide the sheep. Now, wolves can take advantage of them, of course, because they're willing to lead them. They're willing to do what others won't, but it's usually for their own gain. It's always for their own gain. Like, look at fraudsters, criminals, corrupt politicians, etc. Wolves see the inherent vulnerability and they exploit it. But fortunately, some people are shepherds. Now, they also see that the sheep are vulnerable, but instead of exploiting them, shepherds see their duty to protect them. To protect them from wolves and frankly from themselves. In literal terms, you could say shepherds guide and lead the sheep. So let me ask you this. If you're in a crowded room, do you immediately think about how to pickpocket without getting caught? How to maybe get through and have liberties with people you shouldn't? If so, you're a wolf and not really a leader. Or in that same crowded room, do you immediately look for the exits and the fire alarms and make sure everybody's safe and calm? Is anyone having a disagreement? If you have that instinct, that makes you a shepherd. And I believe if you sought out this podcast, I would bet you, my friend, you are a shepherd. You're a born leader, and we have much to learn from each other. But here's the gambit. The two of those three that have the most in common are not the sheep and the shepherd. The two that have the most in common are the shepherd and the wolf. Because both see the vulnerability of the sheep. It's all about how you choose to act on that. So remember, as they say, with great power comes great responsibility. So, more about myself. I have a degree in education, but I never actually taught. But I'm still an educator at heart. And I want to help new and aspiring leaders, as well as stuck leaders. And that's kind of why I started this podcast. So whether you've been around a while, you want some new tricks, you're hoping to be a leader, or you're a new leader and just need some help getting started, that's why I want you to listen. And there isn't a lot of training for leaders. That's another big reason why I wanted to start this. Some companies have leadership development. That's great. I hope yours does that. Many, however, don't. One day they say, congratulations, you're now a leader. You're now the boss. And they figure that you will just come up with your own plan. That's not the best rollout as you can imagine. And like you, I listen to a bunch of leadership podcasts, a bunch. And there's a lot out there. They're great too. A lot of very skilled and knowledgeable people. So why do you want to listen to this one? Well, in the spirit of good business, here is my value proposition for why the Boss Coach should be one of your podcasts you listen to. So number one, all the other shows are very book smart. They know everything. They've read all the books. They've read all the studies. That's wonderful. Think of me as the street smarts that you need to balance that out. Look, they've read about it. They've reported on it. They've studied it. I've actually done it all. And I want you to put me in your repertoire as a skill that helps you apply the knowledge that they talk about. Number two, other leadership podcasts are very serious. That's great. You need to take leadership seriously, but not yourself. I don't take myself too seriously. I'm looking to really enhance the listenability, the engagement. I want you to have fun listening to this show. I'm opinionated. I'm passionate. We're not going to just talk about book stuff. We're going to get down into the dirty on this. So let's talk about how the sausage is made. And number three, you've heard of TLDR, Too Long Didn't Read. Well, a lot of other shows, let's face it, are TLDL, Too Long Didn't Listen. You and I, we got stuff to do, right? We don't always have time for an hour, even though it's important in your leadership skills. We don't always have that kind of time every day. But Boss Coach usually sticks to 15-minute rule. You can easily fit 15 minutes in your day. That's what you call efficiency, and that's being a good leader. Plus a bonus, you'll always come away with at least one skill or trick that you can use today. Something that you can apply, that you can stop listening, put down the headphones, and immediately do to help enhance your leadership skills. So there you go. Leadership street smarts, entertainment, and brevity. That's the Boss Coach in a nutshell. So when I sat down to come up with ideas, I thought I might have a problem, but nope, I came up with 19 in 5 minutes. So don't worry, we're going to have a lot to talk about. Everything from crisis leadership to effective meeting tips to something I call boss holes, which are tales of bad managers. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be an insightful ride. And I can assure you that I can't wait to share my experiences with you. So if you've got 15 minutes while going through emails, commuting, or just quieting your brain, I promise I'll make it worthwhile. You know, in this, what they call the attention economy, I really appreciate you giving me some of that precious commodity. So thank you for your time. I am Patrick McGranahan, the Boss Coach. Make sure to thumbs up and subscribe so you'll get noticed when new episodes drop. But you know what? If you look, there's a couple out there right now, so just jump in. Start the ride with me, and I think we're going to have a great time. Send your comments as well. I'd love to hear from you, make suggestions for future episodes, etc. This should be a two-way dialogue, not just me talking at you. Let's talk with each other. So that's all for now, but I hope to see you next time on The Boss Coach. Until then, get back to work, boss.
Thank you for joining us today for The Boss Coach, hosted by Patrick McGranahan. We'd also like to thank our associate producer, Hannah, and consulting contributor, Stephanie. Original music provided by Sono AI Studio. All statements and opinions by our host and guests are solely their own observations and may not reflect those of their contemporaries or employers. Please check out other episodes of The Boss Coach for more valuable opportunities to level up your leadership. Until next time, I am your announcer, Ava. Have a great day, and as always, lead with your heart.